Morning, it's Tuesday, October 31st, Halloween. And today I want to talk about a couple of things, but I want to start off with the Giants football game because I watched it live on Sunday for the first time, and I won't be doing that anymore because all I saw for the first 2 hours or so was a lot of commercials. At that point, I turned the game off and taped the rest of it, and unfortunately, because of the taping and because of the overtime, I never saw the real end of that game. But the Giants lost and they deserved to lose because they played stupid at the end of the game. And in any event, the other thing I wanted to talk about is the fact that I don't put any candy or anything like that out on Halloween because I had a bad experience when I put it out in the front store and left the sign over there, take what you like, and blah, blah, blah. And what happened was some kids came along, they took the whole jar away, and that was the end of that. So I don't do that, and I don't want to be running to the door all day long, so I'm avoiding that entirely. If people ring the bell, I'm not answering. That's what I'm going to do. So let's get back to what's really going on in the world. And that's the topic that I want to discuss today, and it's called mass murder. But mass murder has a lot of different definitions associated with that. So I'm going to get into that right now. So in 2023, hundreds of shootings where multiple people were killed or injured have been reported in the U.S. But not all of these fall into the category of what a mass shooting. And the gun violence includes lots of terms such as an active shooter, a mass shooting, a mass murder, domestic terrorism. And these terms are easily confused because various organizations and government agencies and people define them differently. So being aware of this technicality can help the public more adequately understand the status of a shooting incident. How many people were injured or killed, and in cases of domestic terrorism, what motivated the incident? So we'll start with the fact that what's an active shooter? Well, an active shooter is somebody who is individually active, engaged in killing or attempting to kill people in a populated area. And if you happen to be listening to the radio and there's an active shooter, that means it's going on right at that instant that you're listening to it. So the incident is currently unfolding and the shooter has not yet been apprehended by the authorities. Now, we just had this guy in Maine, I think his name was Robert Card, who killed 18 people and injured many more, and then he disappeared. They searched all over for him, and finally they found him dead. And they don't describe how he was dead, but I'm sure he killed himself. So that's what an active shooter is. He's going on maddening thing. And the term mass shooting refers to some firearm-related event with many different outcomes. Doesn't mean that everybody gets killed. Doesn't even mean necessarily that people actually got shot. So there's a lack of agreement on the definition of these critical terms, such as mass shootings and mass murders and everything. Because it's the absence of a consistent source of data on these mass events. But I don't care what you call it. It's killing. Multiple killings that took place. That, in my mind, is mass murder. And I don't care what term you use for it. But as far as the FBI is concerned, a multiple homicide incident in which 4 or more victims are murdered in a single event and in 1 or more locations in a close geographical proximity is to be considered a mass murder. So you need 4 people and you need them to be close to one another. So if you shot one person on like Walton Avenue and then you went up to the Grand Concourse and shot somebody else, and then you took a subway downtown and shot somebody else, that's not a mass murder. But if you shot all 4 of those people in front of the Paradise Theater in the Grand Concourse, that's mass murder. I bring the Bronx into this because I grew up in that neighborhood. And I really don't care what their definition is. If multiple people are killed, then it's a mass shooting in my mind. In fact, at one point, I think it was back in 2012 in the Sandy Hook shooting, they were basing a mass shooting as the killing of at least 3 people. So it's changed over the years and now it's 4 people. But who cares? It's multiple lives are lost. That's the critical thing in my mind. And then there's a term called domestic terrorism, and that includes certain elements which must be present in the shooter's intention or motivation. And I don't care. If a certain number of people are dead, then they're dead. So if you want to call it an act of domestic terrorism, that involves a hate crime. And the FBI defines that as violent criminal acts committed by individuals or groups for a furthering of ideological goals stemming from domestic influences like politics, religion, social media, racial environment, or some other crazy situation that'll cause people to go off the wall. But do we really care about the definition of these events? If it isn't such and such, then it's this and that. It's murder, mass murder. Do we need to have the difference between a different definition? That's so important? I don't think so. It's mass murder. They committed this crime. It's a crime of hate or passion or whatever it is. It's still mass murder. Now, if you want to put it into the category of domestic terrorism for certain reasons that are important, I can understand that. But I don't think that has anything to do with the definition of mass murder. And in my mind, all this talk and all of these definitions and all of these criteria are pure bullshit. The problem we have in this country is too many guns, too many people with guns. Why do we have to have guns? Why do we have to have 400 mass killings already this year? Because we're a sick society. We have our guns. We love our guns. Everything is devoted to keeping our gun. We can't make our mind up as to what the correct way to life is. But everybody's got to have a gun. That's okay. That's wrong. It's dead wrong. All of these incidents are because we allow people to get guns. We allow them to get right. We allow guns and guns and guns. And that's a big mistake. We don't have a society that's capable of controlling itself. If you got to have a gun, there's something wrong with that. That's what the problem is. That's what's causing all of these mass shootings. People and the facility, the ease of getting a gun in some places. We have to get away from guns. We don't need guns in our population. That's an excuse because it's in the Constitution. Well-regulated militia. That's bullshit. None of these people who have guns are well-regulated militia. They're just crazies. Think they need it to defend themselves and then they go off the wall. There is something wrong in this country that needs to be corrected. And this is important, but there are so many important things I don't know if it'll ever get done. We need to do away with our gun. That's it. Have a great day.